Get connected with Take Two Radio Music on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio Music. Or for email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit Take2radiomusic.com.
And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Take Two Radio Music. I'm Pam, your host, and today's Friday. So I normally do my interviews on Wednesdays, and I feel like today's Wednesday, but I'm glad to know that it's actually Friday, even though I'm not in the official workforce. But I know for all you workers out there how happy you are that it's Friday. I remember those days all too well. Believe me, I worked most of my life. So it's a yucky day in Chicago today. I'm hoping the sun will come out and it warms up. But I'm super excited to be able to talk to somebody special today because I really like this guy. I really love his music, and he's such a sweetheart. He's so very friendly with all of his fans and his friends, and he posts amazing pictures of himself and his music. Yeah, you will not sit back and just shake your head and say, no, turn that off. You are going to love it if you haven't heard it yet. I'm going to be playing some of it at the end of the show. But let's go ahead and get him on the phone, and let me tell you his name. His name is Ricky-Jarman, and he is a pop and R&B artist, a model, and an actor. And I also just read about him being a dancer, too, but that doesn't surprise me because that all goes together. Right, Ricky?
Yep, that's right.
How you doing?
Doing well. I was just giggling over here a little bit with your awesome introduction of me. I'm quite flattered.
Oh, thanks. You know what? You probably got the best introduction I've done in 3 years I've been doing this.
Wow. Well, it was pretty darn good. I don't know too many that I've had that were that good.
Oh, thanks. It just came to me, so you inspired me. So how's that sound?
Oh, that sounds great. I can work with that.
Yeah. So where are you at today?
I'm in good old New York City, the Big Apple.
And how is it out there?
It's not too shabby. It's kind of cool, a little bit cloudy. I wouldn't necessarily say it's gloomy. The sun's been out, but it has rained a little bit on and off as well. I'm just glad it's not raining now because I'm not really a big fan of the rain. And so whenever it rains, I always feel like I got to be cooped up in my apartment or, somewhere inside. And I get bored real easy that way.
Yeah, definitely. But, I mean, you have enough going on to keep yourself busy even if you couldn't go outside, don't you?
Oh, yeah, of course, for sure. But, when you do some of the same things over and over, it can get a little monotonous. Or even when you're busy doing stuff and being active, sometimes your mindset can get a little bored or, go a little dull or something like that. I like to change things up a bit, and I just feel like when it rains, I'm not really able to have that freedom to, do whatever. I'm kind of a spontaneous type person, so.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with, because I feel the same way as far as it could be 0 outside and we'll have 16 feet of snow, which we do have in Chicago, mind you. but if the sun is out, it doesn't matter to me. I'll complain, it's cold and whatever, but at least you've I don't know, the sun makes you feel better for some reason. And I just could not even imagine living in Alaska where they have the 6 months of sun and 6 months of no sun, or nighttime. So, no, I'll stay here.
Yeah, me too.
Well, you're not originally from New York, right? You're from, is it North Carolina?
Yeah, I'm originally from North Carolina. I've been up here in New York City for about 2 years now. And I'm loving every minute of it. It was great living and growing up in North Carolina because the people there are so friendly. It's a beautiful place. There's lots of just diversity to it all, whether it be culture or climate. I just love everything that it stands for. But I guess at this point in my life, and me being a city boy at heart, I definitely needed a larger outlet and, a place where I could go to the next level with my music. So.
Exactly. I have no. How do I want to put this? You really don't have a North Carolina accent, because I have a friend, a very good friend of mine. As a matter of fact, she's on Skype right now, and I was telling her I got to talk to her later when I typed it in. She has a really strong North Carolina accent. To me, the Carolinas have the strongest Southern accent. So where did yours go?
That's quite funny. I get that all the time because, people can hear it slightly, but it's more so just depending on, like, maybe what time of day it is. When I get tired, my southern drawl comes out just slightly more, but, or phrasing and things like that. My dad has a really heavy southern accent, but I think just from years and years of voice lessons and voice training and being in the arts and all that, I think a lot of it has disappeared just because in the entertainment industry they more want you to have kind of a universal type accent so that, it's just more applicable to a lot of different areas and stuff. So I would probably say that's the driving force behind mine disappearing.
And I guess it's more acceptable to have a Southern accent when you're into country music, so.
Yeah, that's totally true. I can bring it, I can bring it out if I need to, but I just don't.
Now you sound like her.
Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, and it also, when you move away from your home state like that with such a strong accent in that area, you start adjusting to the state that you're in, like New York. New York doesn't have a Southern accent, so talking with those people all the time, you pick that up.
Yeah, for sure. And I would say the people that I hear a northern type accent up here the most from would be people from either Staten Island or Long Island. I think people who live, here in Manhattan, there's so many transient people that aren't originally from here that come into the area,
right.
So it's kind of hard to really identify any type of accent in this area.
That's so true. Well, you brought up voice lessons, so let's go back to that time when you were younger. Did you always want to be a singer? Did you walk around the house singing? How did this all come about?
This actually, I don't know if it comes to a surprise or not, but I would say yes. Like, my whole entire life I've wanted to be a singer. I've wanted to be a performer. My mom makes a joke sometimes and says that I came dancing out the womb. I've just always been a mover, and anytime I hear music, like if it has a good beat, I just don't want to sit still. I feel like I want to dance, and there's a lot of home videos that my parents have where I'm just like freestyling, doing this and that. It wasn't even really like a standard like, oh, you could pick that step out type dance when I was a kid. I was just like, bobbing to the music, And I've been singing, I think my first, I wouldn't say like on a professional standpoint debut, but my first ever singing was in church. When I was a toddler, they had the young kids of the congregation get up and sing. I think it was either for Mother's Day or Father's Day, and I had like a little solo. So my parents tell me about that all the time. I don't necessarily remember that, but
right.
I remember in elementary school just all the time singing tons of different songs. We'd have recess and we'd be on the swings. There'd be a couple of us just singing, whatever songs we liked
really?
and were into at the time. Yeah, I remember there was even a part of recess where we wouldn't go outside. We would just kind of like have these little play areas in the classroom, and you would go to these different vicinities and do whatever you wanted to, whether it was blocks or checkers or dinosaurs or whatnot. They had this little cassette player, though, that had headphones, and I think you had like 10 or 15 minutes that you could just be there and listen to whatever you brought in. I would either be bringing in Michael Jackson or MC Hammer, and I would just be jamming to "You Can't Touch This," you know, like, like, I mean, and I had to, you know, because my dad was into that kind of stuff, so I mean, I was very much influenced by the things my parents listened to, and I got hooked on that pretty easy.
You know, I hear that a lot, that the kids that grow up to be singers or in bands or whatever are influenced by their parents' music. Mm-hmm. Now, what other music inspired you growing up? How much did it change?
I think as I've grown up, I've been able to definitely formulate my own style, or, you know, the things that I like to listen to myself. I definitely have quite a listening passion for, you know, like hip-hop music and R&B music. I wouldn't necessarily say that my parents are so much into that, so that's something I developed over time just for my own listening pleasures. Now, when it comes to my pop music that I both perform and write, heavy influences were definitely Michael Jackson, but I would also say Justin Timberlake has been a huge influence of mine, because I grew up in that era where NSYNC and Backstreet Boys was like the jam. And I just remember just really being drawn to what those boy bands at the time had to offer. You know, they knew how to bring the stage presence. They had awesome harmonies. You know, they were doing really good songs that a lot of people were into at the time. And so just going through that era, and then when Justin Timberlake broke off and became a solo artist, he's just done a lot with his career that's definitely been an example to me. And not only that, but like Earth, Wind, and Fire, the Chicago, just a bunch of bands that my dad was into, Journey, Toto. I mean, these people definitely play somewhat of an influence as well into my stuff.
Well, I take it by that answer, I am probably towards your father's age, because those were my bands too. Especially Journey. Yeah, Journey was like topped as far as my rock went at that time. Absolutely loved Journey with Steve Perry, and never forget being able to see them live. And oh my gosh, standing in line for hours, because it was general admission, but thankfully I got like 8th row seats, so it wasn't too bad, you know, but my God, I just remember that. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm glad to hear that you're inspired by Journey and Earth, Wind, and Fire and Chicago. Yeah, I grew up with all that. I love them.
Yeah.
So you were discovered at an early age by Lou Pearlman and Christian Dio, the different Transcontinental Records, Caliber Records, and they worked with NSYNC and Backstreet and them. Now, how did that happen? I mean, because you hear you're inspired by those people, you know, those singers and bands, and then they discover you?
Yeah, well, they did end up discovering me from a talent convention that I competed in a couple of times when I was younger, called ATS. It stands for American Talent Showcase, and that happened like once or twice a year in Charleston, South Carolina. And there was an agency called the Diamond Agency who came and would go there to scout talent, and they ended up finding me. And her name's Helen. She's actually the owner of the Diamond Agency. I think she's retired now, but at the time she took a liking to me, and her best friend was Lou Pearlman. And so there was a time where Lou Pearlman was looking to form a new boy band, and so she submitted me, and then Lou Pearlman took interest into me and flew me down there, and I got to meet with him and talk with him. And you know, one thing led to another, and my parents were given the option, because Caliber Records with Christian Dio was also interested in me, and they were forming their boy band also. So my parents kind of had to pick and choose, you know, what they were going to have me do. I was underage, you know, I was a minor, so they were kind of calling the shots at the time. So, I mean, at the end of the day, my parents decided to go with Caliber Records, and I wasn't quite sure why at the time. They just kind of were going off of a gut feeling that they felt. And it just didn't make sense to me, because Lou Pearlman had, you know, he was in charge of NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears. He was the driving force behind like their careers and stuff, and I knew that was the direction that I was into at that time. And so it just didn't make sense. But later on, time revealed itself, and unfortunately, Lou Pearlman had gotten himself into some major legal hurdles, and he's unfortunately doing jail time now. But
my gosh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, there was some pretty crazy stuff that went down, and I think Transcontinental Records kind of folded after all that. And so looking back on it, that gut feeling that my parents supposedly had was a good decision on their part, because I would have been stuck in all of that mess, and I don't even know how many years I would have had to wait to get out of a shelved project based on the fact that, our owners were kind of just having major legal troubles.
Yeah, definitely. And parents do have those feelings a lot of times. And now as an adult, when you feel that you should be doing something, that something is saying, nope, you got to do this, don't do that. So, yeah, it's a good thing that they listened, because you would have probably been tied up for a long time until it was, cleared up. So I know you wouldn't have done jail time because it's not your fault for whatever he did, but it still would have tied you up.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, the band that they formed for you to be in was called United. What was that like? What did you learn from doing that to pursue your solo career?
Yeah, United was the boy band that Caliber Records formed, and just with being a part of that, it was a really big learning and growing experience, because not only did we have some, big names associated with the project, Andrea Martin, who's done vocal coaching for Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey, and then we had Glenn Douglas Packard, who has been a past choreographer for Britney Spears. These people's names were attached to the project, so it was great to be able to kind of get that larger introduction career-wise to people in the industry that were so impactful in different ways. But in addition to that, just the musicality behind it, like being able to work on songs that had so much meaning, and being able to experience the hard work that really went into studio time. As a teenager before that, I just thought, hey, I'll go in the studio, I'll sing a little bit, boom, it's done. But when I was a part of United, that was like the first major time where we were in the studio for hours and hours and hours every single day working on our songs. And I remember I'd be in the booth and I'd be like recording the same line over and over for like 2 or 3 hours just to get it right. And, sometimes it doesn't always have to be that hard, but Christian Dio is a perfectionist, and, he wanted everything perfect. And, we worked really, really hard, and it just helped me to grow in my artistry. And even though the project ended up folding later because 2 of the boy band members left the group unexpectedly and didn't really inform anyone, which messed up our branding.
Wow.
Even though that happened, it was just an unfortunate card that was dealt. But even though that happened, it still was a magnificent opportunity for growth. And I definitely did grow, and it helped to shape the direction that I wanted to go when I pursued my solo career.
Definitely. Now, you've been featured in tons of publications, venues, websites. You won Best Male R&B Artist of the Year at Carolina Music Awards. That's such an achievement. I mean, because I'm not sure how old you are, but I know you're not that old, and you've really accomplished a lot. Even though some of these things didn't come to fruition, you still accomplished a lot. And did winning that confirm to you that you were on the right path?
I think that there's been like little bits and pieces throughout my life that's really helped me to understand that I'm going in the right direction. But I would say that a big thing was winning that Carolina Music Awards award, because it was broken up into 2 different portions. They had a panelist of judges who would review the material that each artist who was nominated had, to make sure and see, the professionalism of it all. And then it was also 50% based on the votes by the public. And so just winning that helped me to understand that, hey, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one who sees what I personally want and believes in it, but I have a lot of other people who feel the same way. You know, they feel that I've got the talent, or they support me, or they like my music, and that it was great. You know, it made me feel awesome to be able to know that I had people, you know, behind me like that. And now I'm lucky enough to be able to be working with the team that I have, like the producer who just produced my newest single that I released just this past Monday. His name's Sam Harmonics, and he's this phenomenal guy that's worked with so many big industry heads that I'm just so excited to be like working on what I'm working on. And we've been getting tons of great feedback. You know, his record label, Harmonics Factory, is really doing some really big things right now, and I can't wait for what is supposed to come about with the album. You know, the album's supposed to be dropping around February, March of next year, but we're working really hard on it, and it's just phenomenal. You know, we're going to be shooting the music video for the single this next coming up week, which is supposed to launch in November 5th.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask you about when the new video would come out, because I know you released a lyric video to go along with the release of Get to Know Ya, the single. So I'm excited to see that. Now, why don't you go ahead and tell us more about Get to Know Ya? How did that come about? Did you write the song?
Yeah, me and Sam actually co-wrote the song together. But, you know, Sam, he's not the type of person that would ever name drop, but he's worked with people like Jim Beans, Rodney Jerkins. He's worked with Jamario Ortiz, who just recently launched his new EP. And if, you know, those who aren't familiar with Jamario is actually Bruno Mars's bass player. So if you've ever heard the song Uptown Funk, that's Jamario on the bass.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, so we've got a lot of great things going on right now. And I wouldn't necessarily say that Get to Know You was based upon any real-life experiences, but I will say that, you know, it takes not just one individual, but a creative team to really be able to create something like that song. You know, it's a fun song. It's up-tempo. It's a happy-go-lucky song. It's not supposed to be, like, too hot and heavy. It's just a guy really wanting to get to know the girl, and you get to hear that in the chorus when he's like, I just want to get to know you, and it's fun. You know, the guy's pursuing the girl, and it's like a cat and mouse chase, I guess.
Yeah, the normal thing.
Right. The flirty, you know.
Well, I absolutely love this song, and I'm so happy that I have it to play, and I'll be playing that at the end of the show with a couple other of your songs that I've played before, which is Do It and Mi Amor. Now, I have to ask you, as far as Mi Amor, and you sing in English and in Spanish. Are you fluent in Spanish?
Oh, man, no, I'm definitely not. I really wish that I was, but I learned some Spanish specifically for that song because I do have some of my fan base in the Spanish market, and I even had a couple of requests at the time. I've had people write me and say, you know, oh, it'd be so cool if you had like a bilingual song too and stuff like that. And, you know, after I got requests like that, I kind of got to thinking, you know, that's not a bad idea at all. And I already had the song Mi Amor, which had the Spanish title. It was just an English EDM dance song. And so we got the idea to team up with an awesome group called the Los Soneros Boys. And we just kind of tag-teamed that record and made it into that bilingual record that a lot of people were requesting.
I have to thank you for doing that. Even though I'm not Spanish, I absolutely love music in all languages. And I love the mixture of English and Spanish. That's one of my favorites. So, yeah, if you do more of that down the line, I won't be complaining.
Nice. Yeah, well, I'll have to keep that in mind. Do you speak Spanish?
Well, you believe me, you don't want to hear me do it. I'm horrible at accents, even though I took a couple years of Spanish, and so I understand a lot of it, and I could put simple sentences together, but to hear me speak it, I sound like a white girl. That's all there is to it.
That's funny.
That's why I asked you if you were fluent in Spanish, because I'll tell you, you fake it real well.
Oh, well, I mean, I've taken some classes. I know a little bit of Spanish here and there, but I would never say that, I'm fluent in Spanish by any means.
Yeah. Well, you did well. I absolutely love that. And I love your videos.
You.
They're a lot of fun, and they definitely want you to, make you want to get up and dance. So do you ever see yourself doing a ballad, or do you know if there'll be one on the album that you're putting together?
Yeah, there's actually supposed to be 2 ballads on this upcoming album. One of the ballads that we're going to be using is actually a song that was written by Sam Harmonix, and also there's a Grammy award-winning songwriter from Nashville who co-wrote that song together. And forgive me, his name slips my mind, but the song was actually at one time supposed to be intended for Justin Timberlake for his 2020 album. And
oh my gosh.
for one reason or another, the song ended up not making it onto the album. I think they just had too many songs selected already. But it's a fantastic song. It's called Nighttime. And then we definitely have another ballad as well. So, yeah, this album is going to be very versatile. I think it's going to be attractive to a bunch of different demographics. We've got, some more pop-heavy songs. We've got some more urban, rhythmic-type heavy songs, and some of the content is happy-go-lucky, lighthearted, which is, attractive to the younger age groups. But then we've got some more mature content as well, because I think that there's so many different arrays of love. There's so many different ways that we can feel love, and some of it is lighthearted, and then some of it is real hot and heavy. And I think that, there should be applicable songs that cater to the feelings that you feel in that regard.
Right. And even though I'm mature, I like happy-go-lucky songs, so.
Yeah. Me too.
I mean, I'm one of those people like yourself that grew up, as a child, was singing around the house. I mean, my girlfriend and I, or my sister and I, or something, would be in the basement, pretending we're in a band and we're singing and that. Well, unfortunately, I don't have a voice to sing for people to hear, but that's why I never pursued it. But that was one of my dreams, and maybe if things had turned out differently, maybe I could have taken voice lessons or something. But, it didn't go that way. So now you do not want to hear me sing, and when I play music for my music show, I definitely mute my phone, but I sing along.
I'm sure you're just being modest. I'm sure you got a great
Oh, no. I wish I could say that, but no. Now, what was it like for you? What was it like for you the very first time you performed live on stage? Did you have stage fright, or were you just going out there and doing it?
I think, if I remember correctly, I think I just went out there and did it. I think stage fright is actually something that a lot of people develop as they get older. I think that as a young child, you tend to have more courage to being willing to do certain things that you may not be willing to do, which gets you to step out of your comfort zone as you get older. First time I hit the stage was during my sister's dance recital. My sister's dance teacher had given me permission to perform on stage because I was, at that time, really starting to hit it heavy with my interest in music, and I was in 4th grade. And, lo and behold, I ended up performing As Long As You Love Me by the Backstreet Boys with a childhood best friend of mine. We did that together on stage, and we just had a lot of fun. I remember the crowd was very supportive, and there was lots of cheers, and it really made me feel good. So that adrenaline rush made me want to keep doing it.
Well, and you know what? You're correct. As far as when you're younger, you don't have fear.
Right.
When you get older and you learn more about the world around you, and then a lot of times lose confidence in yourself when you're trying something new. That's where it all comes in. So it's a good thing that you started out young and you know you can do it, so it probably doesn't faze you one bit, and it probably won't faze you later either.
Well, no, I'll definitely say that there are some times where I do get nervous, but I would say that comes more from a lack of preparation. You know, if I feel prepared enough, then I'm pretty confident, you know, but if not, if it's something more like, you know, oh, I could have or should have practiced a little more, but hey, I'm going to wing it type thing, then yeah, I might be a little bit nervous, and that does happen occasionally, you know, but, you know, nervousness is just part of the ball game. You know, we all experience it, but nonetheless, I definitely have tons of fun.
And I'm sure some of it is nervous excitement.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, I also want to touch on your modeling and acting. Of course, I've seen your pictures, like I've mentioned, and you're stunning. No other way to say it. You're stunning. You're made for modeling.
You're so nice. Thank you. That's sweet.
I know you've heard it time and time again. So you have the face and the body to be a model. And how did that come about?
Well, I'm glad we're having this like audio conversation, or I might be seen blushing right now. So. But I would say that modeling is I've probably been doing that about as long as I have singing, just because fourth grade was around the time that my mom put me and my sister into a modeling agency, you know, on a local standpoint, and we just from there learned and you know, grew into our passions, and we went on to be with other agencies and stuff. But ever since I was introduced to being a part of an agency who would book us for auditions and photo shoots and stuff like that, it really helped me to get a well-rounded grasp on the industry as a whole. Because honestly, in this day and age, you know, I'm so grateful for my mom doing that and helping us to be able to pursue that course of action, because in this day and age, the way that the internet has evolved, just everything in general with technology, it's very, very important for people to be well-rounded in the entertainment industry if they really want to thrive, if they want to maintain staying on top, or, you know, they want to get better or to create more outlets to be able to get their face out there. It's just really important to be able to get a good grasp on these different facets of the industry and not just be a one-trick pony.
Well, you really know what you're doing. I really have to commend you on that. You are very well informed and very intelligent and use it wisely. You know, there's not a lot of people out there that are starting out that would think of it in that regard. Of course, you've got a lot of years behind you. But, you know, like you said, with the technology that's evolved these days, you know, a lot of the bands and singers just use the internet to promote themselves, and that's huge. You have to do that. But you also have to get out there and play your gigs and meet other people. And, you know, I've spoken with other artists who have gone to concerts, and they stay behind and they talk to, you know, maybe the drummer or a roadie or something, and get their way in to talk to the band or that artist that they're over there to see, and you know, make connections. So you're making connections everywhere in the entertainment world, and that's awesome. That's going to take you far.
Yeah, well, it's been a fun ride. You know, every day is a new day, and just always trying to stay positive and be optimistic, and, you know, never say no. You know, you're given an opportunity. You want to be able to be given opportunities to step out of your comfort zone, and I wouldn't say I'm always thrilled to step out of my comfort zone, but I'm starting to embrace it a lot more now, because I think that's where your biggest room for growth is. Exactly,
because otherwise you'll get stale staying in the same place, doing the same thing over and over and over.
Right.
And you'll get bored with yourself.
That's true. Definitely.
So I was going to ask you what's the best piece of advice you received that you'd like to pass on to new artists out there, but I think you pretty much answered that. So do you have any gigs coming up that you'd like to mention?
Well, we're right now in negotiations with a gig at Drome here in, I think I said that right. It's either Drome or Drum. But that will potentially be my next gig here in New York City, and that's set for November 1st currently. It's a tentative date. Once we're able to finalize that, I'll be able to announce that more and be able to push the flyer and invite everybody to it. But other than that, I'm just really focused on the making of the music video right now for Get to Know You. And that will definitely be quite a success once everything's all said and done. But, it's a little nerve-wracking when you're in preparations for it because anytime I do a music video, I always try to go big or go home. And when you're dealing with big productions and a lot of people involved, you just at the end of the day, you just want it to go right. Yeah, we're just staying focused on that right now and just making sure that we're able to cross our T's and dot our I's.
Definitely. How big of a part are you as far as making the storyboard for the video or any of your videos?
Yeah, well, all of my past music videos that I've ever released have always been directed by me. So I would definitely say that I have quite a heavy input on the treatment for the videos in general. I have a team, thankfully, who is able to help out with these things, but when it comes to, like, the storyline or, the casting of the videos with the people that are put into it, that's all things that I've done.
Wow. I can't even tell you how impressed I am by you in everything that you do, and I'm just so looking forward to your career evolving so much further than it already has been. I'd like to ask you, you're welcome, a couple of quick questions, and they're just little fun questions.
All right, let's do it.
What song do you sing most in the shower?
There's a couple of songs. I would say if I threw it back to Motown, Buttercup is a song that I sing sometimes for fun in the shower. Sometimes I sing Unchained Melody in the shower. And then sometimes I sing like Let Me Love You by Mario or the John Legend song All of Me sometimes.
Good choice. Good choices. I like them. What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is like a tie between sky blue and red.
Sky blue and red. Wow, different spectrums altogether.
Yeah. Well, you'll also see in like any of my CD covers, those are the predominantly or the predominant colors that I always use is either red or blue.
So now anytime I think of those colors, I'm going to think of you.
All right, do it. That sounds great.
See? There you go. You got another connection to the fans. They'll think of you every time they see that. What was your first car, and what tales would it tell?
What do you mean by what tales?
Anything interesting happen in your car?
Well, some things are best left unsaid. So I don't know if I'm going to divulge those stories. But
well, I don't mean for them to be in that way, but
Oh, okay, I got you. Well, I think the first car I ever had was actually. It wasn't anything to brag about. It was a Ford Taurus, so AKA a lot of people call it a grandma car. It was cool though because like when I turned 16 and I was given that car, I didn't have to pay for that car. My parents, gifted that to me, and how thankful I was just to have a set of wheels, to be able to drive around and pick my date up in or, get to school and, just kind of that prelude to becoming an adult. It was just great to feel independent and stuff. I would definitely say like a memory that I have with that car, it was kind of a scary memory actually, but me, my sister, and my two cousins were driving home from school one day, and we were just like driving home, just any normal day, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this dog comes out, and I'm a big animal lover, so like that side of me just instinctively tried to swerve, to miss the dog, and in the process, we ended up losing control of the car, and it was wet outside. It had rained earlier that day, and so the car did like quite a few 360s and ended up like 360ing off the road into like a field.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really, really scary because I was the only person in that car who had my seatbelt on. So had it flipped or anything like that, I just don't even want to think about what would happen to the rest of the people in the vehicle. But, they said luckily that it did rain. That was a lucky thing because that's kind of what kept the car grounded and kept it spinning instead of flipping. But I'll always remember that with that car. That was definitely a crazy moment.
Yeah, definitely, and it's a good thing that you landed in a field and not in a ditch or something. So, I'm glad nothing bad happened, and thankfully you were all okay, and so was the dog.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now, last one is, what's the funniest or weirdest thing that's happened to you at either a singing gig or a modeling gig? And don't hold back.
You said the funniest thing?
Or weirdest.
Okay, funniest or weirdest? Man, putting me on the spot like that, mind goes blank. I'll say that one time I was at a modeling gig, and I just went nonchalantly to bend over to pick something up, and I ended up ripping my pants.
Oh.
And so for the whole entire time I was there at the modeling thing, and I wasn't like in the modeling wear that was being shot in, I was having to stand there in these pants that were ripped.
Oh my gosh.
So you can imagine, like, I was pretty embarrassed, so I didn't do a whole lot of walking around. I stood there kind of military salute style. My legs were like pinpoint straight down. I didn't want people to see like my britches, so
well, it's a good thing you had britches on.
Oh, yeah. Or it would have been a good old butt flap, right?
That is a good one. Although I'm sure you were extremely embarrassed at the time. It's funny now, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was younger, Like, being in these fashion shows here in New York City, like, it's so fast-paced, and everybody's just trying to get on to, like, the next outfit. There's tons of naked bodies in the room, throwing clothes everywhere, getting the next outfit on. It would have been a walk in the park now, but being in the North Carolina market and being younger, I was definitely embarrassed.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh, that's funny. Well, would you like to give a shout-out to your fans before I have you tell us about your social media, places where they can find you?
Sure. Team Ricky-Jarman, I love you guys. Y'all keep supporting me, and I would love to keep supporting y'all. Reach out to me anytime you want to talk. Anytime I'm available, I always try to take the time and get to know new people. I love meeting new people. Other than that, thank you to my God above for blessing me with each and every day to be able to pursue the things that I love to do, and, blessing me with the ability to share my voice. I think that that's the biggest passion and dream that I have, is to inspire others, and hopefully I'm doing a good job of that, and, just touching as many lives as I possibly can.
I do believe you do that because, I mean, even though I, quote, unquote, discovered you in a weird way, I've been super excited to be, Facebook friends and chat every once in a while, and love that you share your life with us and your music, and I'm sure you inspire a lot of people out there just to make their lives better and take more chances. So just for our listeners, the weird way I discovered Ricky was he had posted a video of a lady doing a cooking thing, and it was way out there. It was very funny. And somehow or another, it ended up on my timeline. Somebody shared it. And when you click on the video on Facebook, it brings up that additional page, and then you see who the original poster was. Well, not the original, but the one before. And it was Ricky. And so I clicked on your name. I don't know why, because I don't normally do that. And then I discovered that you were a singer, and I thought, okay, let's check him out. And that's how it went. I contacted Ricky from there and been playing his music.
That just proves that it was meant to be. You know, it has to have been meant to be. You know, you don't just run across something just so random like that for no reason. So. Exactly,
definitely. And I so hope to meet you one day. So you got to make it to Chicago, but please, I beg of you, do not come in the wintertime.
That is noted. I'm writing it down right now.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And for our listeners, go ahead and let them know how they can find you.
Yeah, for sure. I would say the easiest way to find me would to be put in my website. It's ricky-jarman.com. A lot of people ask me how to spell my last name. It's Jarman. And, if you go to my website, you're able to very easily see a lot of the icons on the home page that help link you to all my social media accounts. So if you want to link up with me on Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, YouTube, you name it, you know, it's all there. Other than that, if you ever want to, see other interviews or other articles about me, you're more than welcome to Google me as well. And I hope to be able to meet all you new listeners out there, and I appreciate all the ones who've been supporting me since day one.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to spend with me today. I really enjoyed it, and like I said, I'll be following your career, so keep it going.
Yeah. All right. You got it.
Thanks, Ricky. You enjoy the rest of your day and the weekend, and I'm going to go ahead and play your music for our listeners.
Perfect. Thank you so much. It was great talking to you.
Thanks, Ricky. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Okay, first song I'm going to play is Mi Amor, the one we were speaking about with the English and the Spanish.
The heat is rising with the spotlight on us. Back it up right on me. Don't want the usual, I like it real hard. You think I'm funny, baby, it's the way I are. Live it up, fast lane, I just wanna go. The way you lick them lips, make my motor blow. Pretty face like yours needs no intro. Anywhere you wanna go, we can go. It could be you or me, it's just that simple. I'm coming for you, I'm coming. The heat is rising out on the floor. With the spotlight on us, who could ask for more? Back it up right on me, you'll be wanting more. Tonight is Gucci, just don't both me more. Excuse me, miss, what's your name? Where's my manners? Call me Yang. Sorry if I come off rude in a way. Your beauty takes my breath away. Yeah, right, okay. Who am I kidding with these cheesy one-liners? Baby girl, I'm just trying to be beside you, trying to be behind you, a place to hide her. Secret, what you think I miss? Get your mind out the gutter, girl, and drink your spritz. Do you need another? I'll order it. One Sprints, one Stella, 2 shots of this. Aight, baby girl, now back to us. Everything about you I seem to love, but you never even told me what your name was. And to tell you the truth, it don't matter, cuz a pretty face like yours needs no intro. Anywhere you wanna go, we can go. It could be you or me, it's just that simple. I'm coming. The heat is rising out on the floor. With the spotlight on us, who could ask for more? Back it up right on me, you'll be wanting more. Tonight is Gucci, just both me more. I got my cup full and I'm ready for you tonight. You got my hopes up and I'm gonna get it right. You a hot girl, call you my little heater. You know you bad girl, my bala chica. You got classic in the back, everybody want that air. Split 'em up high, go down fast, pull you up, I want the stance. Wanna show your face, show your waist, get real close and have a taste. Go to the moon and back again, turn around baby girl, show you back again. Come on. A pretty face like yours needs no intro. Anywhere you wanna go, we can go.
everybody raise your hands that were dancing in your seat. Both of mine are up. These songs will get you ready for your weekend, for all of you going out there clubbing. So next one up is Do It.
Get lost in the dark for free. What up, baby? I turn around with the music loud, go and bend that back for me. Bend that back for me. It's time for the new generation. Baby girl has got me thinking. Put those fences up and pump the bass up and turn it, turn it, turn it up. The way my party rockin' beat go, you can have it all. You can have it all. Listen right now, give it up, lose control. From the window all the way to the wall. If you're sexy and you know it, and you really wanna show it, put those hands in the air, just do it. We about to shut it down, rep your city and your town, drop it low. That crazy goes, do it and do it. Back to the floor, if you really want more, you can rock this beat all night. Set the roof on fire as we make things hot. We just here for a really good time. Yeah! Grind to the top and rock that anthem. Strike a pose and set off my cannon. It's like a birthday party, we about to get it started. So turn it up, 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 now crank it. Just turn it up. Just turn it up, just turn it up, just turn it up, just turn it up, up, up. This is the way my party rockin' beat go. You can have it all. You can have it all. Listen right now, give it up, lose control. From the window all the way to the wall. If you're sexy and you know it, and you really wanna show it, put those hands in the air, just do it. We about to shut it down, rep your city and your town, drop it low. That crazy goes, do it and do it. You can have it, sexy's what you are. I know the way you shake it, baby, you will be a star. I ain't being disrespectful, wanna hold you in my arms, wanna feel you, wanna give you all my heart. You can do it with the lights on, lights on, lights on, lights on, lights on, lights on. You can do it with the lights on, lights on, lights on, lights on, lights on. Do it with the lights on. This is the way my party rockin' beat go. You can have it all. You can have it all. Listen right now, give it up, lose control. From the window all the way to the wall. If you're sexy and you know it, and you really wanna show it, put those hands in the air, just do it. We about to shut it down, rep your city and your town, drop it low. That crazy goes to it. This is the way my party rockin' beat go. You can have it all. Listen right now, give it up, lose control. From the window all the way to the wall. If you're sexy and you know it, and you really wanna show it, put those hands in the air, just do it. We about to shut it down, rep your city and your town, drop it low. That crazy goes, do it and do it.
And that was Do It by Ricky-Jarman. And now for his brand new single called Get to Know Ya.
Saw you grab my attention, and you gave me this feeling. Now I only want you. Addicted to your face, nobody I want to say. I want you to shy away, only for you. Oh, I know you're the type of girl is beating, the way that you're breathing gives me the reason to lose control. I know you're the type of girl to take it slow. Girl, don't back, you're just gonna let it go, go, go. Maybe let down your walls and open your heart and let me in. I just wanna get to know God. I just wanna understand and show you how to have a good time. It's so good. I just wanna get to know God. Let me take you by the hand, we can bring a girlfriend, bring your body real close, we can touch that. I just wanna get to know God. I just wanna understand and show you how to have a good time. It's so good. I just wanna get to know God. Let me take you by the hand, we can bring a girlfriend, bring your body real close, we can touch that. 'Cause I want you, girl, nobody. 'Cause I need you, girl, nobody. Can I have you, girl, nobody. Girl, I want your body. 'Cause I want you, girl, nobody. 'Cause I need you, girl, nobody. Can I have you, girl, nobody. Oh, I know you want to leave, so come home with me. Yeah, so grab my hand and come with me. Jump in my car and ride with me. We headed in the zone, gonna have some fun, gonna end the night so pretty. To know you. Let me show you. Let me take you by the hand, you can bring the girlfriend, bring your body back. Hey. I just wanna get to know you. Let me show you. Oh, to know you. You can bring a girlfriend, bring your body back. We touch that.
And that was Get to Know You by Ricky-Jarman, his brand new single. I absolutely love it, and I'm looking forward to the album and hearing all of his new music. And any of you out there that enjoyed the songs, be sure to pick them up on iTunes, Amazon, wherever you get your music from. Also check out the videos on YouTube, and it's under Ricky-Jarman. Again, that's Jarman. Give him a shout out on social media, and you know he's real good with his fans. He'll get back to you when he can. Other than that, I thank everyone for joining me today, and thank Ricky again for speaking with me. And take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. I'll be back again on Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for another hour of indie music from around the world. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Get connected with Take Two Radio Music on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio Music. Or for email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit TakeTwoRadioMusic.com.